Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back. This is your host, Trillionaire. Very happy to be with you today. Today we're going to be covering an ICO by the name of DogRacing. They are on the website DogracingIO. And man, this is a doozy. I'm really excited to bring this one to you guys. Here we are on their website. Okay, they're specifically their white paper website. It's very basic. They don't actually have a white paper. When you go to their website, you click on white paper, this is what you get. It's very colorful. I would call it the color paper. This is all the information they give you, and look at that, they actually have team members on it. Very exciting. So we're going to go ahead and take a quick look at this one. What's the company name? We already got that. Dogracing ICO. When's the ICO date? It's going to take place April 19th. What do they do? And I'm so glad you guys asked me, what do they do? Essentially, their vision is to become the biggest and most accessible cryptocurrency value betting platform with simple to use interface, exciting games, and seamless liquidity options. Okay, that sounds very nice, but in layman's terms, essentially what they do is they allow you to bet on cryptocurrencies, whether they're going up or they're going down. Okay, you can essentially say, you know what, I think that this bear market is going to continue, and as such, I'm going to go ahead and bet that it's going to go down. And in fact, they're going to allow you in the very near term here to begin betting on the top 5 cryptocurrencies that are out there. That includes Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple, Bitcoin Cash, and I believe the 5th one is Litecoin. Please do correct me in the video comments if I'm wrong. Now that we know that what they do, what problem do they solve? Essentially, the problem they solve is just that. When the market is going down, there's only one way really to make money, and that's so that you can sell out and buy back in when the market's lower. Other than that, I mean, you can actively short, but there's only so many websites that allow you to do that, and they're very centralized. With DogRacing, you don't need to be on that centralized website. You don't even need an account. You just need your tokens. So when you're on the dogracing.io/#whitepaper link, and you do click on, you're on white paper, you click on this little one pager here because the white paper has not been released just yet, and this is what they have in place of it. This is the most important parts that they're telling you about, essentially, and it's their ICO total supply of their tokens is 326 million DGR. For sale, they have 212 million, so roughly 2/3 of them, which they're keeping a substantial amount, 1/3 of them for themselves, and a substantial amount of that. We'll go ahead and we'll go into that in just a moment. But they have a hard cap of 9,100 Ethereum. Accepted currencies are only Ethereum, and the crowd sale date is April 20th or April 19th, depending on your location. In the token distribution, in the ICO, 65% of that will go in the ICO. 20% of it goes to the team members. So the fact that they're raising about 3.5 million, they're going to be keeping roughly about $600,000, $700,000 just for the team members, which is not a substantial amount at all, considering that there's 6 of them. 6 of them. So they each get about $100,000 to go ahead and work on this project in addition to whatever else it is that they are working on. Jackpot gets 10% of the token distribution, so that'll be 2.6 million tokens for users of dogracing.io. They have a bounty campaign of 5%. Funds distribution will be 60% going towards attracting players. I do like that very much, absolutely. Development and maintenance 35%. So again, going right back to the team there, a substantial amount, which is, you know, not unwarranted whatsoever. That's normal. And 5% legal. And as far as for a gambling website that's concerned, that seems shockingly low, considering the fact that they're not actually going to be raising a substantial amount of money. Off the top of my head, that's somewhere in the neighborhood of $150,000, which, you know, this sort of thing could blow through very quickly. Let's go ahead and move on into the rest of our topics to cover. Right. I mean, with with this platform, it's decentralized. Okay. So in order for you to use it, essentially, you only need to use your DGR tokens, which you can acquire in the ICO again on the April 19th or 18th, depending on your time zone. And with that DGR token right now, they're going for a 30% bonus in pre-sale, but you do have to get on the whitelist. And that's going for a rate of 23,400 per one Ethereum. Will drop down to the what they call the standard price of 18,000 per one Ethereum. Now, these bad boys are attempting to raise roughly $3.5 million at a $400 Ethereum valuation. And their soft cap is much lower, just 500 Ethereum. Okay, so they're not going for the moon here, and they certainly shouldn't be going for the moon, because if we take a quick look back at their white paper and we have a look at who the team members are, not really seeing any all-stars here. And you know, that's okay. Every single ICO release doesn't need to have all-stars, especially one with a smaller ICO. So let's take a quick look at who these guys are. We got, man, I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce that name, but a couple of them appear to be related. They are a law student, cryptocurrency enthusiast, and investor. He's a community supervisor. We have a marketing specialist with a bachelor's in engineering. We have a project coordinator with finance sector, international telecommunications, and project management. We have an IT consultant, BSc in software engineering, co-founder of a smart charge box, team leader of programming team. Okay, so not really seeing anybody that has extensive experience in cryptocurrency. Okay, I'm sure we're all cryptocurrency enthusiasts if you're here watching this video now. We have another guy here, co-founder, successful entrepreneur, started to invest in cryptocurrencies a few years ago. You know, there's people who invested in cryptocurrencies a few years ago, bought into the pre-sale of Ethereum, and haven't done anything since. I wouldn't exactly call them experts. Nothing against them. I'm just, you know, playing devil's advocate here. Got to be fair. So as far as the team goes, I give them a rating of a C, maybe even a D, but that doesn't mean that they're not going to be able to deliver something successful. And what's interesting about these guys is DogracingIO is extremely similar to another cryptocurrency platform on Ethereum's blockchain. It goes by the name of Ethorse. All right, it's also a betting dApp, and many people say that if you have a look at the GitHub code, and these guys are open source, whereas I believe DogracingIO not so open source, they've been saying, or the whispers are, that it is essentially the exact same thing. The only difference is a jackpot on DogracingIO. Now, I'll tell you this, one thing I like about Dog Racing over Ethorse is, and nothing to take away from Ethorse, I actually hold the Ethorse tokens myself. I trade them in and out because I like small cap cryptos, and there's a large amount of profitability being made there, but nevertheless, I'm digressing. I want to keep this real short. One thing I like about Dog Racing over Ethorse is that they actually show their team members, okay? And this would be very easy to check out to see if these guys are legitimately who they say they are, simply by following these social media trails. And if they seem to go cold, you know, Google's there for a reason. And if you don't like it, then hey, more power to you, don't invest in it. Am I going to be investing in it? I haven't decided yet, but it is an interesting one. The team, again, gets a D or a C at most from me, which is not very encouraging. However, the code from what I'm seeing, is nothing too complex. And will they be able to achieve what they're setting out to achieve? Certainly, I don't see any reason they can't, but it's a betting platform, so it's a large honeypot. That's another concern of mine. Really going to have to wait until this thing goes live, and then we'll see where it goes from there. Are they going to be able to reach their hard cap? That all depends. I haven't really seen a lot of social media presence from them. However, although I haven't seen a lot of social media presence specifically on their social medias, I keep hearing about these guys over and over again. Anytime I read about horse, dog racing is right there, DogracingIO, okay? And anytime that I'm reading on, potential ICOs coming up, I'm reading about dog racing again, over and over again. These things are coming up. And it's funny that they use dog racing or F-horse, horse racing as a pretty much a metaphor for betting on cryptocurrencies. But that's exactly what they do. They're betting on cryptocurrencies. So nevertheless, very interesting ICO coming out, and again, that's coming out April 19th, April 20th. Here is their roadmap. They've already had a betting dApp successfully tested on mainnet. Their whitelist registration is open currently. Main website is available, as we can see. Smart contract is available for audit. Not certain that one's come out yet. I haven't seen anywhere that is actually out just yet, though the betting dApp is out, and you can feel free to check that out in your own time if you are interested in this. Betting main network launch is coming out in April, and that's one thing that I hope will actually happen on their roadmap, because we are seeing a delay in F-horse. Doesn't mean that the product won't come, but another thing that I don't like about F-horse is we don't actually know who their team members are. Again, I hold F-horse, so that wasn't that big of an issue for me. It's not like I'm holding a significant amount of life-changing money there, so I'm able to mitigate that risk with that in relation to the rest of my portfolio. Obviously, invest responsibly, folks. What else do we have in here? We have jackpot betting is launched, exchange listings. Obviously, they're going to be on the decentralized exchanges such as IDEX and Ether Delta, if Ether Delta is even still around. I think they got replaced by something else. I forget. They ended up bought out by somebody and then replaced with a pretty much a copy paste code because the Ether Delta was left to die. I don't know. Anyways, going back to their white paper here, I want to have a closer look at just a couple of things. They don't really talk about how they are distributing the tokens. I noticed, what are they saying about the smart contract? Smart contract and betting interface are going to be available for public review shortly. Okay, that's right. As I said, smart contract not out just yet. They say it's 85% completion. Still April. They still have time to achieve those goals. Haven't missed any thus far, though it has been a very short period of time. As far as everything else, would I invest in it? I believe I've already said I'm not quite sure if I'll invest in it, though the extremely small market cap is encouraging. If I do invest in it, it won't be anything life-changing, maybe a couple $100 or $1,000 or something, nothing significant, but I do love these smaller cap cryptos with large potential for making a substantial amount of money in the future. You know, you pay 20 bets of $200 over here, that's only $4,000, and any one of them blows up, 50 times, 100 times, you're talking about a substantial amount of, increase on your investment. So that's the idea. And what do you get in return for investing in the ICO once a platform launches? Well, the revenue is generated from a bankroll pool that collects 5% from every bet placed, and this is later paid as dividends to token holders. 10% of all tokens are assigned to a jackpot pool exclusive to DGR token holders. So essentially, whatever percentage of the amount of tokens that you hold, you'll end up earning as dividends. You'll be earning about roughly 5% of that pool that is collected. Okay, so thank you guys very much. That's going to be all for DogracingIO. If you guys have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them, and we will be doing a follow-up video on this ICO and many other ICOs that I have already covered in the past few weeks and months. Very excited to do that. And again, we have some ICOs that are coming up in the very near future, doing an ICO review every day, if not more. Thanks, folks. This has been your host, Trillionaire. You guys have a great rest of your week. Peace.